Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome back. We had Battlestar Galactica 2 hours or so ago, and now we're back to our little Spooktober thing that I'm doing. And we are streaming Vampyr, or Vampyr, however you really want to pronounce it. It is a game set in 1918, I think, and you are a doctor who has come back from the war, has seen some shit, and has been bitten and turned into a vampire. And it turns out that London in 1918 is full of fucking vampires and other monsters in the night. So, we will give this a go. I've got it streaming on my Discord currently because Red may join me later if he can get his keyboard working. We'll see. But until then, let us get into it, shall we? Let's go with just normal, I think. Yeah, just normal. My headphone cable is somehow wrapped in circles. Who knows how that happened? It's taking a hot minute to load. Come on, you're nearly there. There's just a tiny, very diddy bit. So small. Like, less than 5 millimeters. Come on. There we go. Very small. Tiny. Very tiny.
12 dreams for the Red Queen under crown of stone.
Oh.
8 voracious beasts born from 8 restless nights. 4 nails piercing the flesh of the sinner. 1 prayer for the summoned, called by this song.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
For the once proud city of London, 'tis perchance her inhabitants' last dance alone to face death and pestilence. Confronted by the eerie and unknown, mortals became desperate for answers. A flock's flight makes for an omen, the falling of a star a dire presage. Turning to priests for interpretation when there was no reason to be found. When religion failed, men turned to science. I saw them build such vain cities, crafting machines made for endless war. New questions
And I
flourished as
realized
old answers
I must
grew.
reveal
What
myself,
is
the
darkness?
emperor of mankind.
What is wall but enslaved stone? What is glass but tortured sand? What is song but a call to arms? What is hate but jilted love? What is life but death pending?
Wow, this guy has a fucking grim outlook on life in general. Just everything, really.
Since the apple was plucked from the sacred tree, mortality was believed
Hang
to
on.
be
That may fuck things up. But I'm gonna up the volume just a little bit.
punishment,
Oh no, it's all good.
a righteous snare to keep mankind from ascending to the stars. They were all so wrong. Death is not a wicked thing, nor some holy retribution.
It's fucking magic.
A true punishment would be to never know its sweet kiss.
Technically not true. Vampires can still die.
Awaken from the harshness and be born once more.
Wait, actually, English United States, is it? Yes, that's exactly. There's no English England. Fair enough. Will you shush up, doggy? Wait, shush your mush and fix your ear. There we go. You monster. Let's up
My
voice.
mother had a beautiful, soothing voice.
Good to know. A little bit on the SFX. There we go. Dun 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 dun. So this is Jonathan. He is our resident vampire. Well, one of them. He is the nicest vampire you could ever meet. Very nice. Just so nice. This is a very Dark Souls-y vampire game. You'll see what I mean. Eventually. But yes, this is Jonathan. He's the nicest vampire you'll ever meet. For the most part. Blood. Lots of blood. A beating heart.
Thirsty. So thirsty.
Everything will be fine again.
I'm a vampire, love. And I've just woken up. I'm very thirsty.
Mary! Oh, no! Mary! Hold on! Please, hold on! Oh, God. Oh, no. Mary. Mary.
And I just killed my sister. Nicest vampire you will ever meet.
No. No.
Yeah, she dead.
What have I done? This horror. It's a nightmare. No! Please, a moment, let me explain!
Vampires are quite durable, remember that. And now we play
These patrols are after me.
the running game.
No! No! Don't
What
shoot!
the frame rate is going on here? There we go.
This is a nightmare. I need to get out of here.
Not sure what's going on with this. It's lagging slightly for some reason. I have just updated my graphical driver. That might have something to do with it. I don't know.
This can't be happening.
Over there! There's one of those. There's one of them.
No! Please! Stop! I mean you no harm. What's going on?
A fucking average night and average
Oh,
Friday
Mary.
night in London.
What have I done? What's all this about?
Has it fled?
Right, I'm gonna take
Where'd it go?
the used machete. Have a quick look at the video settings. This is fine. Again, fine. Maybe we think on.
Tricky bastard.
Now, I can defend myself.
There we go. That seems to
Kill
have
that
stabilized it.
thing!
Who are you?
Please don't shoot
Stay
me.
back! Sorry, but you left me no choice.
You or me, mate. You or me. I picked me. Yeet, yeet, yeet.
Who are you? Stupid beast! I'm sorry.
Nothing personal.
Over there! There's one
No,
of them.
please, stop! Who are you?
Filthy piece of shit!
What do you want?
More dead humans. Yes, there are vampire hunters. Well, they're monster hunters. They hunt monsters, not just specifically vampires.
I mean you no harm. I need help. Die, you fucking leech! Please, listen to me. I can't make any sense of this. Shut up, beast! Who are you? What is this all about? What in God's name?
I'll do the rest of the job.
Just leave me.
Daylight is approaching.
The sun. It feels like it's burning me to the bone.
So aggravated damage. Damage that I cannot naturally
I need
heal
to
from.
find somewhere to hide.
Fire
Let me
also
go!
does similar things to the sun. It can cause aggravated damage that I can't naturally heal from without, like, active medical attention of a sort. Come on, game. This is a bad show of the game, because the game is usually really quite nice and smooth and good. Whoa, fuck you. And your flaming bullshit.
I need to find shelter.
This'll work. Convenient, that.
Is anybody there?
Yes, just yell.
What is this place?
Who puts a bookcase in front of a window?
The place seems
Boarded up or not?
abandoned.
Who does that?
I should be safe enough here.
You say that.
Brother, what have you done?
Mary! Mary!
Yes,
Mary.
remember what you've done.
I'm sorry. Whoever did this to us, I will find them.
I mean, you were the one who drank her blood. And killed her. Yes, killed her. She is definitely dead. I mean, for the most part, she is.
Wait. This one's dressed up fancy. Let's run through his pockets.
Picking the dead's pockets? Are you serious?
I've still a rent to pay. He's got no more responsibilities. What's this? Gold watch.
Beautiful it is. We fancy it and share the takings. I suppose we are undertakers. Now, give him an Eve.
Yeet. Yes, so,
That's impossible.
not really. Well, for the sane of mind, yes. It would be pretty impossible that you are, alive, I guess. So there is a little bit of a story here in this room. I can't remember all of the specifics of, like, where the... I think it's a diary around here somewhere. Yes, you were bitten on the neck by a vampire, by your sire.
Dreams for the Red Queen.
But you don't know who your sire is.
That she might linger longer. Her eyes as white as wool.
Who goes there?
A prayer for the summoned by warring song. A child born from darkness.
This kind of
Who's there?
works off of
Are you
a
referring to me?
sort of Vampire the Masquerade style vampires.
No!
They're very similar in
No!
a lot of aspects.
I still have so much to accomplish.
But the sire has a reasonable amount of
I still
power
have
over
so
their
much left that needs
creation,
doing.
so to speak. And there is a form of council of vampires of a sort that exist in this universe. So we'll get into that all over, sort of thing. Single gunshot wound to the head.
Johnny, this one's lost. We need to leave. And
No!
now!
There's time. I can save him.
Yep, I was in the war as
That's
a
the enemy coming!
doctor.
The orders are to evacuate the hospital!
Done. He'll live.
And now what?
We fight. Killing is a hell of a lot easier than healing.
One round.
No, it never got easy.
So yeah, there's a little bit of a story here. I'm not sure where the papers are on it that covers that bit of the story, but basically, the woman downstairs got turned into a ghoul / vampire. She kind of lost her mind. This lady here lost her mind and went a bit mad and tried to feed off of her husband. Her husband locked himself away in the bedroom when she first tried to feed off him, and ultimately ended up shooting himself to stop her from feeding on him. And because all the doors were sort of closed off and that, and she didn't know where else to go, she kind of just starved to death. Yet somehow this was open. I think she might have broken in here after he'd killed himself and she couldn't feed off his corpse. Maybe? I'm not sure. I know that is roughly the story. Ah, here it is. 15th of October. Bad sleep. Becky coughed all night and never... Her fever... And never... And the fever made her delirious. I heard a loud noise in the morning. It's a big machine some men brought by the banks to dig a big hole in the ground. It was some sort of mechanical shovel. Like, for example, I don't know, a digger. Maybe I could go there and ask for some work. Becky needs medicine. 16th of October. I talked to the men with the mechanical shovel. They told me they are digging mass graves all around London. Safety measures, apparently. Is there a new epidemic? Is the flu coming back? They had no work for me. Becky slept a little last night. The foundry has been closed, and there's no more jobs nearby. 19th of October. I went to London to find some groceries and drugs. No trains. It took me the whole day to cross the Thames and come back. Becky seemed better. I made a soup. She ate. I found no drugs, only a few syringes, and some sleeping pills on the black market. We have no money left. Maybe I can go to the Pembroke Hospital tomorrow, but it's so far and I fear leaving my wife so long. 19th of October. Becky threw up the meal a few hours after she ate. She's so frail now, it makes me cry. She says she hears voices outside at night. She says she wants to eat meat. Where would I find meat? Tomorrow I'll barricade the house to protect us from looters. So this is why she couldn't get out. Because he had barricaded the house to stop people getting in, as well as stopping people getting out. The men with the 21st of October. The men with the mechanical shovel have stopped digging the mass grave. I heard shouts last night as if they were attacked. Now there are only a few boats throwing bodies day and night into the giant hole. The smell is terrible. We should have left this house a week ago, but Becky, she refuses to leave. She'd rather die, she said with a nasty smile. Why is she torturing me so? 22nd of October. So this is over the course of, 8 days so far. Or 7 days. Becky just attacked me. She jumped on me from the stairs and tried to bite me. I had to smack her, and she smacked me back. I went upstairs and locked myself in the bedroom. Now I can hear her crying and mumbling downstairs. I retrieved the gun I hid in the ceiling since the war to protect the house. Now, I'm ready to use it to protect myself from my own wife. 23rd of October. I could not sleep at all. Becky spent the whole night scratching at the door, asking for my help, begging me to let her in. But I was too afraid to open it. I'm just waiting for her to die now. It would not be long. I pray to God it will end soon. 24th of October. I was so hungry. I tried to go downstairs this morning. Becky was sitting in the armchair by the chimney. She was panting like a dog, looking at me without moving, just following me around the... Oi, you. Just following me around the room with her eyes. I pointed the gun at her sore face, but she did not react. I could not pull the trigger. I went back to my room. 25th of October. So over the course of 10 days... The house is silent like a tomb. No more noises. Becky is dead now. Forgive me, my love. I was unable to save you. I'll be with you soon enough. And then he killed himself. So 10 days. She got sick, and within 10 days she was dead. However, she tried to eat this gentleman. So there's that.
This makes no sense. None of it. No sense at all. It's a nightmare. That's it. So be it.
Hey! Shush! Granny! Hey! That will
Rational
do.
thinking only.
Oi! Pack it in. Dogs! I swear he just hears noises. And I just shot myself in the heart. Game over. Roll credits. I is dead. Come on, if it was just a shot to a heart that killed a vampire, they wouldn't have existed this long. Like I said, we're incredibly durable. Like, ridiculously durable. I'm also now covered in blood, but ignore that.
This is absolute madness. I've lost touch with the real.
Madness it is. As madness
And that is my sire.
contains blood in sunlight into a glowing reflection.
And welcome to Evolution. Evolution is something that allows me to, you know, it allows me to become a more, a better vampire. I ultimately end up becoming more vampiric. And there's multiple levels of upgrade. Let's spend 600 of my points to level up autophagy. Autophagy? No. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I've not really seen that word. I'm going to call it autophagy because that sounds dirty. And now let's get... Let's get a blood spear. I'm now level 3. So I now have the ability to naturally heal a little bit better. Costs blood to do it, but I can do it. As well as being able to throw a spear of blood at
Voice
someone.
in my head. If I'm not mad, then it must belong to the one who made me.
That's
what I am.
Some serious assumptions there, my boy.
I must find.
So yeah, we have all of this now. I also have a gun. I don't have a lot. And here comes the sort of Blood Soulsy. It's like Bloodborne and Dark Souls combined. The Dark Soulsy type aspect with how combat works. So I am here in Southwark. I know for the Americans that's pronounced Southwark. But in the UK that's Southwark. And I've got to make my way across the bridge to the docks on the north bank of the River Thames. Here is my main quest. Here is the citizens menu. So this has some interesting aspects. Citizens become ill around you. There's a plague going around, you know. And you meet all these people, and then it tells you who they are and that. There are positives. As you can see, it says blood quality. Now, blood quality is unlocked by several things. For example, if they're ill, their blood quality goes down. If they're healthy, their blood quality goes up quite dramatically. So if they're ill, their blood quality will be worth 500 XP max. If they're well, their blood quality goes up to 1500 XP. And then if you've discovered other things from them or helped them in some way, their blood quality can go up to like 3,000 XP for draining them. However, the more you drain people, the worse the pandemic gets, and the more hunters are out. You are essentially playing Bloodborne backwards. So rather than being the hunter who is going around trying to wipe out all the monsters and that and save the town, you're playing as the monster who's trying to keep it on the DL so you don't get killed. But the more people you go around and drain, the more you end up getting more hunters, the infection spreads and becomes worse, so blood quality ultimately drops because people start getting more and more ill. And then ghouls and such start appearing more as well, so you've got to fight monsters as well as hunters. There's also sort of werewolf type creatures. So, you know, there are actually benefits to playing a sort of kill everyone type run. You get a lot more XP, so you level up a lot faster. Because obviously you have a limit. You how do I go to the level up screen again? I can't remember. But I just love how I remember that.
Understand.
You I think it's like right here somewhere. But you get more XP, and that's like blood XP, so you level up a lot faster, so you can become a more powerful vampire a lot quicker. And you gain better abilities like ultimates and so on and so forth. Which is all well and good, yes. But like I said, there is some big downsides to that, such as hunters are around a lot more diseased creatures are around a lot more, and so on and so forth. Whereas if you play conservatively and try to avoid killing anyone at all, and to try to help, you don't level up quite so fast, but you also don't make the game more difficult quite so fast. If that makes sense. Like, the more active as a vampire you are, the harder the game becomes. So it's better to sort of play it on the DL and try to avoid becoming a full-fledged vampire than it is to go fucking crazy and drain everyone. Even if they deserve it.
What I have
and
become.
Some people do, trust me. Right, well they're not getting in through that door. So I'm leaving through the door
These
that
people
was
want
closed.
me dead. I need to leave now.
How will I ever get up there?
Here's the leech. Here!
Uh-oh. I need to leave.
Come back, you!
The joys of being a vampire.
My head's spinning.
Yeah, that'll happen to you the first time you shadow step.
Oi! Come out, you coward!
It's locked, all right.
Fucking beast!
This man is dead. So now I have an offhand weapon. So if I pull that out, I can also press... No, wait. I think I have to actually be in combat, so... We will see that when it comes into play.
I'm still in Southwark.
And of course you're
I
still
must
in
reach the
Southwark.
West End. Go back home.
Die, vermin!
Ow. So now I've stunned him. Now I can feed. Hunters are pretty much fair game.
A strength I never knew I had.
Hunters are pretty much a fair game if you feed upon them.
See them fancy clothes? This one's a top!
This shouldn't be possible. Every sinew, every Every fiber of my being is afire.
So, there we go. So the white bar below their health bar, which is the red one, is their,
I feel like a child learning the limits of my body.
So yeah, the stamina bar is basically what allows you to potentially, excuse me, bugger off. So you can get weapons that deal stun, and the more you stun, the easier it is to refill your blood
My strength,
from,
my reflexes. I'm not human anymore.
from people who are just lying around. Every person you kill is worth like 20 XP. Whereas if you drain people of their blood, obviously you get sort of anywhere between sort of 500 and 3,000 XP. But you are killing innocents. So there is definitely a huge sort of dilemma of what should you really do. Currently, I'm just going to cross Southwark Bridge. Join the ranks. Your king and country need you. Join the British ranks of the brave lads at the front. Yeah, a bunch of war propaganda, even though the war has finished.
My poor sister. If only I had controlled my need for blood. Mary, someone will pay for what happened to you.
Yes.
For what happened to us. It's locked.
So, you can also do this.
This is despicable.
Yeah, but it's better than feeding on
I
humans.
cannot enter.
Yeah, rats give you blood. They don't give you as much, and they're not by any means
The dizziness from the jump.
sanitary.
I can now control it.
But that is better than
It's locked.
feeding off humans for blood. I think, not certain, but I think hunters are fair game when it comes to blood. So if you stun them and feed off them. I am having fun being a vampire. I actually quite enjoy being a vampire. Hello, Jonas. How are you? Rat.
I have this thirst for blood.
Yeah. We all get that occasionally.
What will London have to say to me?
Probably don't ask, honestly.
I've so many questions unanswered.
Yeah, well, you need to find a vampire to ask. Potentially. Ooh, shillings. I like money. 10 shillings. For those of you who don't know, shillings was the old currency of London and England back in, well, till like
Another
the
corpse.
60s?
Have the
I think
very
when
streets
pounds
of
and
London
pence
become
became a thing,
mausoleum?
like, you know. Money used to have many more different divinations. Yeah, he's dead, Jonathan. Yeah, he's very much dead.
The man has
Jonathan.
been drained of all blood. But I can still smell the scent of it.
That's because you're a vampire, Jonathan.
I follow the scent's trail.
Yeah, it does
Perhaps it will
sound like
lead me
there's
to
a
my
fly
assailant.
right next to my head and it's irritating.
Fresh blood. Something dire must have come about.
Yep, so I have vampiric
Where
senses.
has everyone gone?
They're hiding, you fuck nugget.
According to the blood patterns, that's where the victim was attacked. So that must be the killer's trail.
I have unlocked a new hideout. This is a hideout. A hideout is useful because they are sometimes, I don't think daylight comes. Like, I don't think you progress the day. Tell me, what is it? So this is where you can analyze. You can create or upgrade weapons. You can recycle stuff, or you can create treatments. Treatments is very good because treatments increases people's blood quality. It also makes things less terrible. Will you shut up? There is nobody coming to this house. Ignore what is going on outside and go to sleep. My God. But yes, the hideouts are places that you can come where it's hidden.
At last, a little life.
Ignore the fact that I'm covered in blood.
Welcome, sir, to the Turquoise Turtle.
Hang on, is there a way that I can not run at people? That's not what I wanted. Keybinds. Is there like a walk? Hold Q. Hello there.
My God, sir, you look like Jonah's whale just spat you out of hell. Can I get you a drink?
There is
No,
a
thank
bullet
you.
hole in my chest and I'm covered
I'm
in
not-
blood, but ignore that.
Not thirsty.
Well, grab a chair and get some rest. This is going to be another long night.
Why is it going to be a long night?
Why is it going to be a long night?
You must be new around here. Don't you know about the murders?
I do not.
Tell me more about these murders.
Every morning for the last few weeks, bodies have been found. And those poor sods didn't die of flu.
Oh no. Any suspect?
Do the police have any leads on a suspect?
Even before the outbreak, coppers never came round here.
I did see
We're
it.
on our own. People die in these parts
not
all
sure.
the time, and
Might
no
be
one
interesting.
cares.
What is this place?
Where am I? Where is this place?
You're at my bar, sir, the Turquoise Turtle. The last ray of light in this dangerous part of town.
Aren't you scared?
Aren't you scared?
Scared of what? All the bad shit happens out on the foggy streets. And I never go outside.
That's fair. Are you open all night?
So you're open all night?
Yep. Figured people might need a place to rest in these dark times.
Fair enough. I'm looking for someone.
I'm looking for someone who might have passed through here recently. Wondered if you might help.
It's been quiet tonight. The only other person I've seen went straight up to his room. Thought it was kind of rude, actually.
You mean he's still here?
Well, yeah. He paid for the entire week.
How long has he been here?
How long has he been here?
He rented the room a few days ago and didn't say when he'd leave.
Well, he rented it for a week, so presumably in a week's time.
Who is this man? What does he look like?
Well, like a gentleman, I guess. Well-dressed, quite polite. A professor or something fancy like that. Always writing, reading notes.
I need to meet this man. I have questions.
Just climb the stairs and knock on the first door. I heard him open his window, so I guess he's still awake. And,
Yes?
no funny business. You hear me? This is a respectable establishment.
Can't promise anything.
See them where boot boys get what's coming to them.
So this is a bar
Damn it.
called the Turquoise Turtle. Hello, love.
Hello, sir. Are you all right? Is there any way I can help you?
I don't know. Maybe you could just talk to me.
Maybe you prefer to speak with Tom then. He's more agreeable talking to strangers.
What is going on?
What's going on around here? Where is everyone?
Too many dead, sir. First the epidemic, and now all these terrible murders.
I see. About the murders, what do you know?
The murders. What can you say about them?
Bodies found in the streets every morning. Drained of blood. It's just horrible.
That sounds suspiciously
Some
eerily
say.
similar.
The sewer dog is back.
The sewer dog. What's that?
No one knows. People have always disappeared around these parts. The ancients say it's the sewer dog coming out to feed. But now he's killing in the streets.
No way. About the epidemic.
What have you heard about the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu. Yeah. Killed so many last summer. Thought we'd seen the last of it.
You thought wrong.
Dozens dying every week.
Are the authorities doing anything?
Nothing. There are so many quarantine zones in London now. It's gotten really hard to travel across town.
Fair enough. What is this?
What is this place?
This is
Love how
Tom's
I'm
bar.
just demanding.
The Turquoise Turtle. I'm the barmaid here, Sabrina, if you want to know.
I do want to know. Hello, Sabrina.
Are you always open this late at night?
No, it's only since the epidemic started. Tom thought that people may need a safe place to stay.
That's mighty fine nice of him.
You don't seem to have much business. Where is everybody?
Well, most people are sleeping right now. And those that are awake tend to avoid going out. What with the murders and all.
That's fair.
I just want to talk. I didn't mean to scare you.
I'm not afraid, sir. It's just I've other customers to take care of.
I only see one customer.
I was going to say.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I best check on them.
Right. Well, thank you.
I'll leave then. Thank you.
And now I can see her blood quality is 1500 XP and middling. And it would take a level 3 mesmerize to
I've never even been to India.
get her to come with me so I could eat her. Tom Watts is 2,500 XP. What about you, Dyson?
Good evening, sir. I wondered if I could ask for your help.
Wow, you look like you need a drink.
Yes. I apologize for my outfit. It's been a long night.
Been there, seen that. Don't worry, things can only get worse.
I've been shot and I'm covered in blood.
Has anybody entered the bar recently?
Can't say. Sorry. I spent the night making love to that gorgeous bottle, see?
This is important, sir. Are you sure no one has come in here in the last few hours?
Yes, I
don't
shot
know, and I
myself, but
don't
I'm still
care.
covered in blood.
This is a free country. People still have the right to come and go, don't they?
What is going on around here?
What's going on around here? It's like everybody is hiding.
You must be new here. Have you not heard about the murders?
Yes, I have from
Everybody
two other people
fears the
so far.
return of the sewer dog.
Who is this?
Who
sewer
is
dog?
this sewer dog?
It's the local bogeyman. Convenient answer for every crime that happened for decades. You murdered someone, blame the sewer dog, eh?
Naturally.
You make it sound like it's a fairy tale.
This is true.
People will always believe in monsters. It's easier than accepting their own darkness. We can all be monsters.
That is fair. Goodbye.
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
So yes, he's suffering from fatigue as well as being fucking drunk. So his blood quality is 350 XP, but I can mesmerize him and
There's gotta be
drink his
something
blood
can be
now
done to get
if
out
I
of this
wanted.
bullshit mess.
But that would not be beneficial for me. That would ultimately just be a waste of my time.
This is no place for you. Prewen has several patrols roaming the area.
They do not pursue me.
But they're looking for vampires, and they're most efficient.
They'll not relent until the killer has been identified.
I have a common objective, but I require...
I think someone is eavesdropping.
Are you certain? You might as well come in, whoever you are.
Hello.
Slowly, vampire. Who are you?
I mean you no harm.
Saith the vampire. Present yourself.
I need a word. With anyone.
So crosses have power over me.
Well, that's something I can do for you.
That's the only real difference between this and the Masquerade.
And who might you...
This is Dr. Edgar Swansea. Edgar Swansea. That much we know about him. And his blood quality is 6,000, and I would require a mesmerization level of 6 to take control of him.
You be?
You first.
Tell me, who are you?
First, tell me what you want. Then I may tell you.
That's none of your concern.
This conversation is
Sir,
going
you have
fucking
entered my
nowhere.
room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them. Biting them.
The calling card of a vampire. Like you.
You seem the expert. How would that be?
I have my secrets, as you have yours.
Indeed.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I'm performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
What have you uncovered concerning the murders?
It started a few nights ago. Rumors of violent murders. The docks have always been, shall we say, somewhat unsavory.
The London docks, what do you
This is
expect?
different.
How different?
A vampire is at work here. Famished. Reckless. It must be brought to ground, and quickly.
Who are you talking to?
I heard another voice, that of a woman. Who were you talking to?
Ridiculous. I've no idea what you're talking about.
Something tells me not to trust you.
Then the feeling is mutual.
Fair.
And what exactly is this Brotherhood?
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it another time.
Also fair. You help me, please.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may. If you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor. That explains a great deal. We are both chasing the same shadow.
Difference is, I can actually go into a shadow form.
A shadow, indeed. Yet I heard his voice in my head. There was a moment I believed I was mad.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will you do any better than I? But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
I'm not sure.
I don't
I'm
know.
kind of winging it.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again.
No, Jonas. There are some serious disadvantages for just drinking everyone's blood. However, he does have 6,000 XP that's just sitting there nice and juicy.
If Swansea
But no.
is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight.
I think I'm losing my mind.
Someone must know something.
I should just run as far away from this place as I can.
Damn it. I think drink no longer stirs me.
Oh, the one who's killing people.
Evening, sir. Can I help you?
I have a few questions for you.
Yeah, him. He can
Well,
die.
if you must.
He's a ghoul. Kind of.
I
think
spoke
he's called
to
a
Dr.
ghoul.
Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth?
Uh,
What do you mean?
I
he's like
suspect
someone
that someone
who's
else was here tonight. And I don't
been
think Tom wants to tell me
I
about
can't
it.
remember
I'm
exactly.
just
It's
the
been a while
barmaid
since I
here,
played
okay?
this.
If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor we had.
I can feel your fear, madam. Please, tell me what's going on.
It's Will.
That was
William
easy.
Bishop. He came in here earlier tonight and he... Well, I thought he was going to clock someone.
For those who don't speak ye olde English, clock someone means crack 'em fucking across the jaw. Have a go. Have a
What
Barney.
happened tonight?
He was dead drunk, as usual. But my God, his eyes, his face. He must have caught something awful. He shouted and cried. It was terrible.
Why were you so afraid?
Why are you so afraid?
I mean, his skin. His hands. I scrubbed every glass and every chair that he touched. God, I hope it's not contagious.
That was very prudent of you.
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor who worked at the cannon factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really.
Used to be.
He's never been violent. Until tonight.
Why keep it a secret? Why not tell me about it?
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates. But recently, well, Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor. I'll be sure to talk to Tom.
You do that. And I've gained a hint about a citizen. So Tom's blood quality has gone up very slightly due to the fact that he is... I've discovered something. About Tom Watts. Hang on, what was the button for toggling? B, there we go. And I don't have to hold down fucking Q all the time.
Jack, he didn't deserve this.
Welcome back. Did you find what you were after?
I can't say I have. Are you sure no one else came into your bar before I arrived?
Hey, I told you, you were the only other stranger I've had.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about
Tom,
William.
talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
Why lie to me?
Why lie to me if he is not your friend?
I didn't lie. I said you were my only unannounced customer, and that's the truth.
Who is he?
William. Just an old sailor who loves his gin too much. He worked for years at the canning factory before it closed.
Shut up, Jonas. Don't side with him.
Is he dangerous?
Yeah. Like many drunks, he's all bark and no bite. He can barely stand up most of the time.
How was he tonight? Was he different?
Sicker than usual, perhaps. He whined and mumbled about how mean people were to him and how he'd like to talk to me outside, and then he left when I refused.
I hate you.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's up by the North Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What'd you expect? He's a tall, sick bastard with a bad rash and torn old clothes. William used to be strong. Now he's a mess.
Sounds about right.
If you see him, tell him I don't want him back here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
I don't think that's going to be a problem, Tom.
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue.
He gonna die.
What's been done to me? To this city?
He definitely gonna die. Well, there's a dead gentleman.
The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood. This man was armed. He tried to defend himself.
Didn't do a very good fucking job, did he?
This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim. What's this? Some sort of note.
That's been left out in the rain. Pruin orders. 30th of October from G. McCullum to Dock Patrols. Object, multiple deaths in the docks region. We believe nasty leech is involved. Locate the beast, purge it, and quickly. Warning, according to the recent reports, this vampire is very violent. Approach with extreme caution. I know we lack men in this part of town, so don't send rookies to investigate the case. If I'm correct, we've got a frenzied one killing each night. As always, search abandoned places like old houses, basement sewers, or warehouses. Destroy the Leech Brothers. Oh yeah, they are inept as hell.
These men. Blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. You already were told
There
this.
are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge.
Oh, well, you see, there's just no way across. You can't swim across, not in this weather. But, let's just say, for example, you were a vampire and could, oh, I don't know, do this.
Ammunition crate. Good. I may need a lot of bullets. I feel like I'm back on the front line again.
Shut that foolish mouth. Never known McCullum to be wrong about anything.
Right. No time I can remember. But I've only been part of the guard 3 weeks to the day.
All the more reason to shut it, Mr. Billy.
Best
If the man says a blood sight's dug in here, you've got one job, and that's to find it. And find it fast.
It's fair enough, Tom. But why do they hide where it's so damn cold?
Over there! There's one of them vermin!
Shut up. No, it's not a flamethrower, it's a crossbow with a flaming bolt. However, it has a similar function as the sun. Hang on, I could have swore there was a button for, like, crouching. Or not.
Crush the leech, boys! Christ! He's dead! Fuck, it's fast! Stop right now!
Fine, I'll leave.
This is no place for a gentleman!
Do I look like a gentleman?
Stop right now!
I suppose to the untrained eye I would look relatively gentlemanly.
We won't see any of these bastards back here again.
No, fire is relatively effective at keeping us down. Go on, turn around.
That's this nest of them cleaned out.
I nightmare screams when you burn them alive.
Relatively.
That's this nest of them cleaned out. Stay close, keep an eye on each
another hideout. Sorry, mate. I'm just gonna loot you. And anything you ain't got nailed down.
Fresh blood.
That's
The
a good
whole
sign.
building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
Is this first, you see?
A used safe. Nice. I'll take a used safe. I have played this before, yes.
We've done it before.
This place reeks of bloodshed.
I must have more.
Oh dear God.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
Can't remember how to attack that. Don't you dare feed off me. Hang on, I need a non-weapon. One that does stun. I will feed off you instead. How's that sound? Well, rip William Bishop.
William, please, stop.
William's dead, mate. I killed him.
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
No, you could.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Oh no, William's still alive. Not anymore, he's not. Thanks, hot stuff.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by Scal?
They're like a ghoul.
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you... like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
That's fair. Let's get the father out of here. Come on,
By
father.
George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders.
Yep, she just pieces out. She's not one
Patience,
for
good fellows, I've come to offer help.
engaging in vampire politics.
Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We
It's
can leave this awful place.
safe to say that I'm not
William
exactly
was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken
a
by the thirst.
licensed
He needed his
or
drink.
This man requires medical attention.
authorized
We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
vampire
Please, I
fledgling.
must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just
have
need
several
a moment.
hideouts.
If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me. This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
To a certain extent, yes, it is a subspecies of vampire. It's kind of like a ghoul, but not a ghoul as in the masquerade sense. It's like a being infected with vampire blood rather than giving it.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say?
Alright, don't get so fucking poetic.
The important thing is that he's been
this.
stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy.
She doesn't like to get involved in
Were London as peaceful as she
vampire.
appears from the middle of the canal?
Bit of politics
if
and
only
business.
that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages.
Best thing that's ever
Welcome to the
happened
front
to it.
lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
And a
You are
vampire.
correct, sir.
I knew it. I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
Kind of. I'm
I
a blood
understand.
specialist.
Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us...
I research...
The Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study.
for diseases and
There's
such.
so much for you to learn.
My character is essentially like the early version of a
Then let me be blunt. Join my
hematologist.
staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
I don't exactly have much of a choice.
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Awesome. Onwards! While you do that, I'll get changed into something a bit more... well, a bit less bloody. Because God knows I'm covered in blood. This is so spooky with no music. Just deadly silent.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Hello, Dorothy.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
And another patient. But,
Oh, Doctor,
you know.
what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy.
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Alright, you need to stop shaking my hand, son.
Come on, you bastard! You can do better than that!
Oh, and then we've got this guy.
Nah, it's my turn!
The bloodlust is
rotten or pristine. Each heart contains the seeds of life. Drink at this river. Dry it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. Me guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm the doctor.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
No. Now this is the fucking first time that we discover...
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Nope. I could, but nope. I'm being good boy vampire. I've got another man here. He's been stabbed. You don't care? Fine, I'll take him to the fucking shadows. And I'll then not drink from his fucking blood. It's nasty blood anyway. This guy fucking deserves it. He's like a gang boss in London and he does some shady as fuck shit. But no, I am being good karma. Even though this guy fucking deserves it so much.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this.
It is wise
I will not take another life.
Sometimes let his prey go. But no famished hunter can run for long.
No, that's not, no. If I was gonna kill him, I'd just drink his blood and then throw him in the river.
I not want to make wait, Doctor. I've patients to attend.
Sorry, I'm ignoring you, Dorothy. If that's really your name.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Tell Milton
Dr.
to
Swansea
stab him if
insisted
he
we
needs to.
provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I have a few questions.
I would like to ask a few questions first. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
No.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
But, you know. Where is my room?
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
This is no time to celebrate. It is the last thing I do.
The hospital is full. Is it? So yes, I have this lovely outfit now, even though I still look as pale as a sheet. And have some nasty looking fucking cracks and shit on my skin. Hello there, sir. I'm taking your glass files.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
No, I don't. Shut up, Jonas.
Actually, yes. We met once before at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Well, you know. What is the situation
What is the
here?
Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
Well, yeah.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
Tell me about the other
What
stuff.
can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair, but still.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Crikey, that's a... Now bear in mind, this is 1918. women incredibly rare for a woman to be a doctor. Pretty much not unheard of. Maybe in some of the like colonies in sort of like India and that, female English nurses who went over and you know, they did nursing over there. They'd be called doctor. But for the most part, it was only ever men that were doctors.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
That's fair. That is fair.
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Come on, don't be ridiculous, dear colleague.
Well, you know. And I need hints for all that.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Tippett. Relatively healthy. Let's talk to everybody. Hello, Milton.
Good evening, sir.
I'm much
I'm
fucking
Dr. Jonathan
taller than
Reed.
you, apparently.
I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Yeah, so this guy is a bit on the black markety side.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
Fair enough.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Most of the time. That doesn't sound particularly endearing, does it?
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation?
Jonas, don't make this a race
It's
thing.
a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even
He's
the
lucky
locals
he even
attack
has
you.
a job in 1918, honestly, that isn't belittling him as it is.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital. That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Huh, that would be a fuck. I'm immortal.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
So that
You
they
keep
can
people
defend
alive
themselves.
your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
I mean, that is fair, I suppose. Let's
I'd
see
like
what
to
you've
see
got.
your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed.
What'd you sell? You sell parts for upgrading a gun, and you sell a shotgun. He also sells some impressive things for... Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing that Americans say, you know? Yeah, a doctor can heal you and that, but a doctor ain't gonna do a lot of good if someone breaks into your own.
And I thought last summer's epidemic was difficult.
So yes, this is Pembroke Hospital.
Another night
It's
of the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
a decent hospital. They are definitely stretched to capacity, though. There is
Dr.
a few
Swansea
things,
is right.
you know.
This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
I mean, it's a hospital, so, you know, it's better than most. Hello there.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And
Hello,
I'm
Pippa
Dr.
Hawkins.
Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
What's life in London like?
How would you
From
describe
your
the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't
You've just
kill
got to
everyone.
hold on.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
Oh, there's always some that are naturally...
Do you need medical help yourself,
resistant
nurse?
to these
I'm
things.
fine, really. I just need to sleep.
How would you describe...
It's serious.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
When I find out the cause of it.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
I mean, I'm...
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Brannigan. How are the staff
How is the
coping?
Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Wateria, thank you for following the stream. Finally.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis?
Because he's
Is it
Milton.
just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Fair enough.
Why does Milton
I've
dislike
unlocked a hint
I
about
don't
Milton.
know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Fair enough. The more you know. Personal questions need hints for all
Goodbye,
of those.
Nurse Hawkins.
But I have discovered a few things about Milton out here. Aside from the obvious that he's a gun runner and the ambulance driver, etc., etc., blah de blah. Milton. Oh, Milton. I have discovered something about you.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening.
Hang on.
Evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Yes, I am.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues,
I'm
Milton?
so fucking demanding
Fuck them.
about this.
Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
I mean, that's entirely fair.
Goodbye, Milton.
Can't hold that one against him. He's seen some shit. Like, some serious shit. And I can't exactly blame him for carrying guns for it either.
What your last thoughts would be, sir?
Good evening, Nurse.
Good evening, Doc.
Oh, that's Pippa. Bye,
Goodbye,
Pippa.
Nurse Hawkins.
You, Doctor Man.
I wish I could be sick again.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Always
Reed,
look on
yes,
the
I've been informed
bright
about your
side
arrival.
of life.
I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
How's about you go fuck yourself?
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Yeah. No need for such animosity.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital, instead of a burden.
Cannot confirm nor deny that one, I suppose.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me.
His
I have
face
always
is-
respected
is-
the
Oh,
skills
nom,
of
nom,
Dr.
nom, nom.
Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Like to point out, motherfucker, asylums are still doing some seriously fucked up shit to people at this point in time. So, you know.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to
A
mean?
laboratory so I can
served
try
in
and
the war
stop
just
being a
like
vampire.
you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
Go fuck yourself,
It
mate.
seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
In my office, where there is no one around. Right, let's go up to my office. As I actually have one of those now. It even has my name on the door, which is, you know, impressive, all things considered.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes.
Yeah, and it has a better
Relegated
fucking
to the
quote.
shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. Can't confirm that one. Oh my god. Article on Ekans. Oh, okay, so he's left some stuff about Ekans. sleeps in the locker instead. No, that's not what's happening. I'm not sleeping in the locker. Although I could. No, I'm getting changed into the bowler hat. No, I prefer the trench coat. I also just got a new weapon. Oh, and hiccups. Sure, why not? Brett should be joining as soon as he's got his computer working.
Didn't he fuck up his keyboard though?
Yeah, as soon as he gets that working, he should be here.
So I gotta mute the stream itself now.
Might be a good idea.
Well, since I'm joining this one, I can hear everything and I get to talk to you, so it'll be weird to hear you a couple seconds after yourself.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Right, so let's go to the backyard.
Yeah. My favorite pastime, blood eagles. You know what that is, right?
Yes.
That shit's crazy, dog.
Well, it's far from fucking pleasant, that's for sure. Especially to the person it's being done to.
If there's no other way to get into Valhalla, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I suppose. Right. Let us enter the backyard. It's all the way around here.
I don't understand. I got knocked out before the battle, and now everyone's saying I'm a deserter.
Alright, catch you later, Jonas.
Oh, set me poop.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody...
I wouldn't call those voices. Just saying. Wait, did you just throw that steak?
No, I have a blood spear. It's one of my vampiric abilities.
Interesting, you can drink skull blood.
Yep. Well, it's technically vampire blood.
Exactly, that's why I would be concerned about using it.
I can drink rat blood, vampire blood, human blood.
Blood?
Yeah, pretty much any kind of blood is fair game.
If it runs red, I can drink it.
Yep.
Well, actually, that makes me wonder, though. Could vampires drink horseshoe crab blood?
I don't know. Personally,
Their blood's
I don't know the answer.
actually blue. Because the primary element of it is copper instead of iron. It's kind of a purple color. It's also insanely expensive.
Somehow I'm not surprised.
I mean, do you know how many of those things you'd have to empty to get like a gallon of this stuff?
Probably quite a lot.
They're little bastards after all.
Oh, he died. Ah, photography in a wallet. Milton and Pippa forever. Ooh.
So,
Milton and Pippa are having a.
Those two have hidden their affections well.
Maybe they're in the past.
Maybe. I mean,
because he's smiling in that picture. To be fair,
they're in a time where
happiness isn't exactly priority.
Well, not only that, they're also in a time where a black man and a white woman
probably be pretty frowned upon.
Yeah, that's a big no-no in this time period. I mean, it happened, but it was fucking frowned upon massively by like everybody.
Jesus Christ! It looks like you're playing this on a mosaic for me right now.
Welcome to my mosaic PowerPoint.
Jesus Christ, no. I'm going back to writing my fan fiction.
You guys might not want to go out there.
Hey guys, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I think going outside right now would probably be a bad plan.
Especially
What
for
do you
anyone
mean?
who's not a vampire.
Oh.
Even for people who are a vampire. There's actually a mad woman inside this hospital who thinks she's a vampire. She's not, she's just mad.
You should turn her into one.
I have been
Good evening,
tempted.
Milton.
Good
I
evening,
think I
Doctor.
can, I'm
Still
not
trying to
certain,
save lives.
And just start turning everyone in the fucking hospital into vampires.
I have some
I
good
have found the
news.
cure. What is it? Me!
The epidemic's over.
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please.
I'm not bothered.
take
I'm
this
just
money
surprised
anyway.
to see that
To
you have
remind
some
you to
source of
keep your mouth
happiness in
shut.
your life, dude.
Not
Do you
everybody
not
is as
remember the
broad-minded
fucking
as you,
conversation we had 5 minutes ago?
You were legitimately just like, fuck everyone.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Oh, wow.
Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up.
Yeah, they're mass
She's as
graves. Those
depressed
are a
as I
thing.
am.
You could both get fired. And then where would they be? Together and poor.
Let's go with Bound by Despair.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other. And that's all that matters.
You're damn right it is, son.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Don't see
Come
why
on,
not.
Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running?
They employ a fucking vampire.
with
That's
what we're
got to be
doing?
one of them.
What? Don't hire the undead?
Maybe.
Goodbye, Milton.
You never
think
know.
that'd be in the fucking clause of hiring there? One of the clauses?
We have some questions to ask you. First one is, are you a vampire? No. Great, you're hired.
Welcome.
Here she is.
Definitely not.
Good evening.
Would you like
miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me.
Hi, Thelma.
Mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal...
I'm not, but you know.
Well, Dr.
If I'm mortal, what are
But
you?
must know. I'm a vampire.
No shit, me too. Wait, what?
He shows fangs.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am.
No, you're
It is
just a
what I
very
feel within this
disturbed woman.
hollow shell of flesh.
Describe how you
Please.
feel.
Describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can
Fucking
hear
sucks.
my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
Actually,
Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, my dear?
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality.
I can.
And you think it is I who am delusional.
really?
Just like slams her up against the wall, fangs bared. You dare talk to me in this manner? Okie
I'm
dokie.
staring down eternity alone. You will not speak to me in such a manner.
Do you know who I am?
I'm the
I'm assuming you must
juggernaut,
be a
bitch. Wait, what?
Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover to hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Wait, can I turn into a bat?
Wait, can I do that?
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
No, but I can leave as a shadow.
But I sense their eyes on me from nearby.
Oh yeah, isn't that like you
feel
can
them
do a little
watching me
shadow
every time
leap
I
like
visit the
in
garden near the morgue.
oh, what's that game called? Dishonored?
Yes, kind of.
Yeah.
Mine is obviously a natural ability and not provided by a god, but yeah, it allows me to sort of traverse high places.
I'm not sure
and
how
such.
he'd feel about you calling him a god.
What, the Traveller?
Yeah.
That's technically what he is.
He's not a god, he's a
For
primordial
I
of
am a
shadow and
vampire.
hatred.
I
Thank you
see.
very much.
He's also a
worry.
dick.
These
He's
people
also
will
a
not
dick.
find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
I somehow doubt this.
And Pix places hand against wall, slightly flexes, sends spider webbing cracks all across it.
Levels building. Whoopsie.
Puts hand through wall without putting any effort into it. I have the strangest feeling anyone after you could be handled.
Who are you
Who
really?
are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require?
No.
Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No,
I was a
such long
mad
time ago, I
bastard.
don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Yeah, most vampires do remember pretty much everything that they go through. It's part of the fact of them being vampires.
The brain ceases to function off of natural process. We become.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark.
A magical data storage.
Yeah, they
Therefore,
ultimately can pretty
clear
much
view of your
remember
past.
15 centuries, just like it happened yesterday, in like an almost photographic memory type thing.
Yeah. Unlike how it would actually be for us to be immortal as humans.
Yeah.
The human brain's only good
What
for
did I do?
like
Oh shit.
70 years
Yeah.
of storage
My
before we
God,
start
woman, did you just
forgetting and
stab
overrating.
someone?
What can I do for you, Doctor?
You can
Get a
clean
new
your fucking
smock.
hands. Jesus
Thank you,
Christ.
Get a new- Fuck.
Just give me your apron. I need a drink.
No, give me the apron. Walk back and new one.
I'm quite busy right now.
Oh, it's this tit head.
Thank you for your time.
Smack him.
Fucking eat his head. Hello
Suck
there.
out his eyeballs.
Good evening, madam.
I'm a vampire, not a
It's
monster.
my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I
Well,
help you,
okay,
sir?
shut up.
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
You have? Oh, wow. Straighten his
Okay.
tie.
Do you require medical attention as well, Mrs. Goswick?
I have other concerns right now, Doctor. But I'm fine.
I'm bleeding to death, but I have other concerns right now.
Holding stab wound inside.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's
Really
all that
now?
matters.
Okay,
I
but I
use that.
charge by the
Really,
minute.
that way?
I charge by the second.
Most of the patients
£5
here
per
are of a
second.
more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes. Thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover
She
any
murdered him.
needed medical expenses.
I was thinking the same thing.
May I ask if you have an occupation?
Why are we
Mrs.
such
Goswick?
bastards?
teacher
That's
by
our
profession.
immediate assumption.
I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Oh, okay. I respect this woman,
What do you think of your reception here?
at least to a certain extent.
Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived.
Oh.
But
Shit's
we
gotten
had
a
no
little
other
out of
choice,
hand.
considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
He's going to
Some
be
of the
sitting
staff
here
were
for
not
like
especially
8
welcoming.
days.
I suspect they're not accustomed to
Well,
dealing with
8
patients
days
of
and
such
nights.
social standing.
And on the 8th day, he said,
Tell me
"Fuck,
more
I'm
about
tired."
your arrival at Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude. for a
Yeah, what do you
start.
expect?
And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite
He's
a
a
dubious
grumpy
attitude.
bastard. That's what
do
he
you
is.
mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Oh, I see.
she took a
She
bribe.
charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
She's fucking suicidal and depressed. Jesus.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed.
Just puts
I'm
Hawkins
aware
through a
such
wall.
behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Well, we'll go to one of those
What did
other
the five
hospitals.
fingers say to the face? Slap through a wall.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Alright.
All right, dumbass. Let's talk.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
That's what happens when you
suppose
try to
that
kill
this
yourself.
pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
I see. I'm going to continue to ask you more questions, even though your throat is painful.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
You're in good hands then.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox.
But I can assure you
rest
it's
assured,
Christian.
You're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr.
Well, yeah, it is unorthodox.
It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
And I'd throw her through a window. I don't know what you're on about.
I would rip the foot
Do
of
you
the
need
bed
any
off,
help?
I'm
drag it
afraid I
out with
may,
her
sir.
attached.
I don't mean to be a burden.
Let me examine you.
You are not a burden.
And you have my gratitude.
Wait, did I actually? I don't have any, so yeah. Tell me about yourself,
Tell me
Mortimer.
about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
I don't fucking care. Talk, damn you. Speak now or die.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
We must communicate.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see.
I don't know how
Then
to read
maybe
or
it's
write.
not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
I see. Well,
I have
later,
to go
dude.
now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Let's get this kid some antidepressants.
Doctor.
Yep. Hello there, sir.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see.
Is your
Would you
condition
mind
being an
telling me
arsehole?
more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Right, let me have a look.
Is there anything else that's bothering you? Can I help in any way?
I'm all right. Considering the state of this place, I should consider myself lucky, I guess.
Probably. Doctors arguing about
Tell
your
me
case?
about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd.
Oh.
They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Das ist fair.
Are you satisfied?
Flesh and
with your
bones is the
treatment
wooden
Well,
nails of this hospital.
It's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured.
I'm just a
Forgive my
carpenter for
bluntness,
humans.
But you seem overwhelmed by
Give me the
cases of
bits and I
flu.
can build
I
you
won't
one.
lie to
It
you
won't be
about
functional, but I can build you one.
I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other
Licked teeth.
circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
Continues to lick teeth. No,
Tell me
no.
about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed. So I can return
Yes,
to
but
work.
you won't tell me what's wrong
and
with
my
it,
family.
shit for
more
brains.
Is it
curious
broken?
about
Is
what
it
you were doing
sprained? Will you
before
let me
being
fucking look at it? What?
I'm a carpenter.
Have you been
And a
stabbed?
good one, too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
So if I remove one and then give you another one a bit further down, somewhere in your sternum, lower sternum area, maybe coming out of your chest, definitely, that'll help, right? No? Okay.
Goodbye for now.
Suddenly, Dr. Reed is
I'll
Dr.
see you
fucking
later.
Frankenstein.
Always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me...
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Look at them
Reed.
glasses.
Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am
Kiss
Thoreau
us.
Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a
Are you
great
very
admirer
thorough?
of your work, Dr. Reed.
I think this dude's a serial killer.
He's a doctor, so possibly.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion.
I said about
Dr.
yourself,
Reed.
not about me.
I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
Right, you need to
Tell
dial
about
it
your
back,
experience.
like...
Hold up, I need to know. Tell me about your
I
experience.
based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me. But I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
This dude's taking limbs off of people and using them for transfusions.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
Bleeding
I'm not ashamed to
pigs
admit
into
you and your
open
work have
wounds.
inspired me.
This
I
is
am
how you
honored
blood
to have the
transfusion,
opportunity to work by
right?
your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical
Right, so I've got
knowledge
this
with
blood
someone
condition
eager
that's
to
turned
learn.
me into a vampire.
I'll be
What
glad
do
to
you,
help you if I
what do
This
you, what do
epidemic
you
may be the
theorize for
century's
that?
most terrible
But he's
You're-
disaster, but
you're
I'm
a
convinced
vampire?
that we, as doctors, are
Shit.
the only ones able to defeat it.
Well, sorry. Oh, nom nom.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded.
Punch him.
Dr.
Eat
Swansea
him.
taught me that science
Drink
is about
his
exploring
blood.
uncharted territory.
Give me a hug.
I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
I bet he works in one of those fucking asylums, shocking people because it makes them feel better.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with
Makes you
Dr.
feel like you're
Swansea.
helping.
But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Okay, lesson 1, just bites him in the neck.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True, true. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
I haven't slept in 12 days.
I haven't slept.
I can see the future.
Do you need
I
help
haven't
with
slept
anything in particular?
Well,
I haven't slept
maybe.
since last summer.
I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
I had
Do you
nothing
want
to
me
do
to
with
play
it.
the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went
Don't be
personally to
upset.
his
You
shop,
have some
what with
spaghetti.
your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see.
Especially if I threatened
Well,
him.
give me the address, for I may pass by.
Time
if
to
I have time.
threaten violence.
I encourage violence.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly.
Why are you talking like a
I'm
fucking
convinced your
robot
blood
now?
transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Right,
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But
And
why would
then-
he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father. Ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Okay. You
This
must try and
personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of
yeah.
impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears.
And lots of lovely blood.
Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Technically, you're dealing with both.
As it say. You're too focused on the chemical impulses
Goodbye,
to
Dr.
realize that the machine's not working properly.
Your robot's broken, bruh.
Your
Good
flesh
evening, Mr.
robot's
Fiddick.
broken.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Yeah, I need the truth.
Personal questions.
Yeah, probably. Why are you feeling
Tell me
guilty
about
it?
your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
So, he's just feeling very guilty about getting hurt.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working
I built a
double.
shoddy cabinet.
She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
It's World War One.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
It does feel like I'm in a Doctor Who episode. With the way people are saying Doctor.
Doctor!
Tell me more
Doctor.
about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the
Zeppelin!
construction site, but they missed their
We
target.
have one major tactical
My
advantage
wife
that
was
they
bringing my
don't.
dinner when the bombs fell.
Zeppelins.
So many died.
I'm
during the
sorry
bombings.
for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that my kids have.
She
little
went out for
bleeders.
dinner and never came back. That was 7
How
years
are your
ago.
children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Ellen didn't bring them with her that night.
Right. So this man does need an
Goodbye for
operation
now.
to fix his arm.
Reads me like
But what the fuck is wrong with it?
Yeah, that is something that I don't know. I love how they're like, oh yeah, we're running low on pretty much every type of supply, and I'm just walking around like fucking stealing it. And it's like, right, I need these, I need this, thank you, I'll take that. It's like, we need some more supplies. I'm working.
Always knew the words to calm
I'm
me.
quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
What, being a cunt?
Yeah, pretty much.
Your thoughts?
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be
Yeah,
blinding?
this guy needs
Rivalry?
this operation.
I guess you could call
so
it
that he can heal every day
But
that
I will never be
he's
childish enough to let my personal feelings
not
affect my
healing
judgment.
is another like week that he potentially has to sit at home doing nothing and not feeding his children.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Right.
I don't know what procedure you're trying to do.
Fuck knows.
If you are going to lead this surgery, I'm trusting you to assume the consequences of your actions, whatever the result.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reed.
If you do,
There is no
I
need
will
for you to be
find
looking
you.
over my shoulder.
and I will feast.
Thank you for your time.
Good evening, sir.
Doctor.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Doctor who?
That's the question, isn't
Goodbye for now.
You always
Yep.
knew the words to calm the children, Helen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Just running through the hospital.
Rolling around at the speed of sound.
Hello there, sir.
A giant
Good evening,
wolf
sir.
disguised as a
Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm not
Dr.
sure
Reed.
what the
I've
regenerative
recently taken the
properties of
position
being a
of head
vampire are
surgeon
yet.
here.
I'm still working on
War
it.
injuries. Am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Interesting.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Poor dude.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you
Jesus
aware that
Christ.
she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time
You're
she
feeding
approaches
her?
my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She
Cattle.
may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
Aww. It's kind of romantic in a weird way.
Yeah. I
So
get
do
it.
you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood.
That's how diseases are
And
spread.
pain. It's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
That is fair.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
I can promise you, being a vampire is not as fun as it sounds.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
I'm fine. Just do something for this pain, will you? That's all I'm asking.
I don't exactly have a cure for post-traumatic stress disorder, buddy.
Not yet.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense.
That is fair.
I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you?
No, I was a
Then I
doctor,
doubt
you
we fought
pleb.
the same war, sir. No offense.
I was a fucking doctor, you muppet.
I was
How
a medic.
close are you to Miss
I was
Are
I
you
was the
aware
guy
that she
stitching
thinks
people's
she is a
faces back
vampire?
on.
To wait for her next nibble.
Aren't you?
She's quite...
Did I miss
yeah,
something?
You
No.
re-asked the
There we
same
go.
question.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Fear and disgust on every street corner.
Hello, Sean. How are you?
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, Sora, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory.
Fear and exhaustion made me say awful
Oh,
things
look how
to
his
you, I'm
name's spelled.
afraid.
So it's
You
actually
remained
pronounced
perfectly
scene.
nice and polite.
Sean.
A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a
And
relief.
having some
now all
blood
I
drunk.
need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Scene Hampton. He's
Sean.
seen some shit.
Sean.
Scene.
You bitch.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Yeah, that's what tends
Why
to happen
did
when
he
you go to
abduct
the
you? William was an alcoholic.
home of a
His
skull.
addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You
She's just
dared
mental.
to enter this
There's a
awful
difference.
place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
He was searching for something. Not sure it was light.
Next.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with
Fucking
a lot of
terrible.
tensions between the gangs and the Dockers Trade Union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Wet Boot Boys.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
I know where Clay Cox is. He's been stabbed. He's just outside.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Yeah, he's dead.
Everyone in the East End is dead. I mean,
I killed them all personally.
this is like 100 years ago, and the corruption and despair in the East End has not changed.
People are still in despair.
That's kind of
How could
crappy.
it be otherwise?
It's
The
London.
authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing.
Oh,
It's a
there
damn
are still
shame.
drugs if you ask the right people. However, medicine, that's a different matter.
Who should
There's
I
a
avoid
difference.
in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Why not? It's fun.
Sometimes it's all you can do to
What do you
release
do
the
for a
stress
living,
of
Mr.
knowing
Hampton?
them.
I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Oh, God, he's a Bible basher.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
He's also
Why
just
didn't
a
you
pain in
use
the
your
ass.
cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token.
Oh, you'd
That's
be
what you were trying to
surprised.
say. Not mine, anyway.
You would be surprised.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really. But I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Guess what? She's fucking not. She's very much alive there, son. How do you feel?
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel
dizzy.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Swansea is
I
well
believe all
versed
I
in
need
blood
is rest.
transfusion,
And
which
then I
is
can go
of
back to the
my
people who need me.
experiments and thesis, by the way.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Unfortunately.
It's locked, all right.
A giant morgue disguised as a
Hear the
hospital.
disgust on
That's
every
Pembroke
street corner.
nowadays.
Right, let's
Daily reads.
analyze William Bishop's blood at my workbench. They have a lot more space than they are using.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
I don't know what you fucking expect me to do. I don't have any water. Analyze. And now I have serums. Weapon upgrades. There's something very important here. Ooh, that's what I want. What about Dragon's Bane? That can have. Excelente. And a steak.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
I have so much time now. Is that because you're immortal? Let's up that. That's something I should probably play on this channel. Dishonored. Let's put that up. Let's get my health up a bit as well.
Train them all.
And
Humanity is for the weak.
and now I am level 6. The following night. You are still a
If
vampire.
I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for
I love
blood?
it. It's been one night and he's already addressing all these pathetic humans around him as mortals.
I'm not one to make wait, Doctor. I've patients to attend.
Well, why didn't you knock on my fucking door?
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics
one,
is
two, or
nearly
three?
depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but
My room is off limits.
Nurse, this room is off limits, and I'd prefer to keep it that way. Make sure the rest of the staff are so informed.
of course, Doctor. And what about the antiseptics? Or do I inform the staff that you're too busy?
I may have a solution. In France, during the
didn't
war,
say I was too
drug
busy. I was
shortage
just
was a daily
ensuring that you
problem.
knew that
We
you
had
were
to
not
use
to
our
enter my
wits to
room.
overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
You may find a coffin.
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back
Bear with me.
entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way, then. Thank you, nurse.
So now I am stronger, faster, and just generally less shit. Oh, hello. I haven't...
It's locked, all right.
That one's not. I haven't talked to you, Miss Blue. Miss Blue. There
Good
we
evening,
go.
Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Doc.
Oh, I have. Fuck's sake.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Fair enough. Find what happiness you can where you
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
can. Right, alright, there are 3 people I have not met in the hospital. Fatigue. I need a treatment for fatigue. And can't remember how to make that yet. We'll find out. Like, there's all this fucking space that doesn't seem to be being used. We're using like 2 floors. There's like 6 floors there, and then this massive amount of space back here. As well as over there that could be used. You know,
It's locked.
Pembroke may be space is a luxury, but you know, you've got plenty that you're not fucking using. We've got skulls. Oh, okay, so I can now leave through this front door. Okay, cool. I mean, I didn't want to do that, but I can now. Oh yes, Dragon's Brain now actually has blood absorption, doesn't it? Hey, some shillings. Nice.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
That's making a lot of assumptions there, buddy.
Yo, dog. Catch an action on the fucking Beyblade battle.
What?
Balls of Mars. Fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
I'm just watching some fucking videos.
Fair enough.
A bunch of like, I don't know. I guess maybe college kids sitting around a table, taking bets on a fucking Beyblade battle.
Nice. Down to La Morgue.
Oh, hey, we got a new person.
What the fuck was that? Skulls. Multiple.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Don't mind me, I'll just make my presence known. Got another rogue skull. Death report of Samuel Connor. Aww.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into them.
Ooh. Ooh, a used lesion.
It's
knife.
locked. It's locked, all right.
What does that do? Because I was going on about... Oh, that increases my blood absorption. So if I wanted, I could stab people with this as well to get more blood. Rather than having to drain it from people. Doesn't give me extra XP though, unfortunately.
Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened.
Dun dun dun.
Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman.
Intriguing.
A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error.
Ooh, dear.
It's time we talked.
One of the doctors has been up to some naughty shit. pitiful creature. Perfect. Just what I was looking for in a circle of blood.
These scowls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
But I just defeated him. And I'm not that much stronger than I normally would be. Time to leave. Oh look, more skulls. Feast on blood. Blood heals me, for I am a vampire. That is how that works. True story. Hang on.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding?
No, I want to
should
talk to this
investigate.
gentleman.
Tomorrow.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir.
And he is
Especially when
Rakesh.
he was supposedly dead.
A colleague. Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean?
Terrible job.
You used to be a doctor. Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Right, that doesn't really mean shit, I'm afraid.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay.
Yes, that's exactly what they are.
No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
This guy's well fucking laid back.
How did you get this job?
Dude's
After I left
probably
the army,
stoned out of his gourd
I
or
worked
something.
as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place.
It's
with
all
many
right,
unpleasant
man.
business.
People die all the
Milton
time.
Hooks helped me get a job.
Just kind of move on, bruh.
You gotta just get used to it, man.
Have you tried
Do
some
you
of
work
this
here alone?
awesome
Yes, very easy work,
hashish?
sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Yeah, I wouldn't go back in there.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Make sure they
Because
don't come
these
back.
poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Okay.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body.
Yes.
She must be very relieved now.
Relieved of life, yes.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Possibly. He's healthy, good.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade. I exchange.
I
Some
steal.
people sell.
I kill.
Some others buy.
I
like
drink
to help.
blood.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death?
That's
Rakesh?
quite a
No.
forward way of
I
putting
believe
it.
we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Since
Do you think you would
do
enjoy
not fear
immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Nope, not me. Joys of being a
Do you
vampire.
really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite
It gives
depressing.
you plenty of
wouldn't
time
you
to
say?
do whatever you
Yes.
want.
But the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
I fear that is not correct.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed, I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Wow, this guy's got, like, he fucking knows.
Please show me one.
Of course. It...
Right, what do you sell? Opium. Got a lot of drugs you're selling here there, buddy. Quite a lot of drugs. I can't remember what it is I'm looking for.
It never ceases to...
For making the thingy.
Amaze me how you, the dead, seem peaceful and lost at the same time.
I thought he was talking to me for a second there. I was like,
Do I look peaceful to you?
do I look dead to you? Actually, don't answer that.
Don't answer that. I don't think you should be looking for that answer.
Hey look, there's dead men here. I'm gonna loot through their pockets for money. As long as they don't come back, it should be fine.
Well, someone's having a good time.
Sounds like it, don't it? Gwyneth Brannigan.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique.
Have they?
Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Funny that.
Well, it'll keep people alive
Not
during
good, to
surgery
say the
at
least.
least.
Yeah.
We're
it's
struggling
pretty
against
fucking
an
good.
invisible enemy, more lethal than any
Now maybe
bullet
if we
from a
could
gun.
just get down fucking
It's
clean
hard.
environment.
An invisible enemy.
Some kind of
Quite a
perfect
poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor.
sanitizing agent of
These
some
last few
description.
weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good
I mean,
night's
yeah,
sleep.
they have some sanitization, but nowhere enough.
Like, just,
Do you
know,
think this hospital can
Disinfectant.
survive?
disinfectant
We are all
or
volunteers here.
something like
Just
that.
rub the
upon
whole
infant.
surgery ward down with bleach.
How do we beat an invisible killer?
They pretty much do.
Some nurses have already resigned.
Problem is the stuff coming in from the outside.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift
Most of
for
them.
recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Do it anyway.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Yes.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No.
And will be
I
used
may
in court
disagree
against you.
with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not
Or
think
giving
of
him
you as
sex,
just a
who
nurse
knows?
anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting
Gross
he's
old
not
lady
taking my
sex.
gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Who knows?
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
So
you
you
can't
were
allow
behind
your
it.
emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett's in our situation?
If he fucks up regularly, yes.
Perhaps you did it with the best intentions, Nurse Brannigan, but you took a great risk. Must I remind you that a man died?
You mean you've never made a mistake? Never covered your tracks?
I'm a fucking
Come on,
vampire, of
Doctor.
course I have.
I wasn't born yesterday.
No, I haven't made any mistakes, actually.
Well, I've made one. It's called letting
Goodbye,
you
nurse.
live.
Call me if you...
Then drain her ass. Damn.
Nah. She's not worth that much. Actually, she's worth quite a bit.
As I say, you're full of shit and you should know that.
What's
Aw.
going on here?
She's about to drink from him, like she does.
The slightly insane, but also slightly endearingly romantic
I
couple.
cannot enter.
Oh. Time to get back to Remnant. From the ashes. Uh-oh.
What the hell?
Something's going weird over there.
What is happening here?
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
You don't sound okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may.
Here.
You are not a burden.
And you have my gratitude.
He is now recovering.
I have to go now.
You always knew words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me, blundering idiot.
Who is this unknown that is in my vision? In my vampiric senses? Dr. Tippett.
Good evening,
We need to have our conversation.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
I found out what you did. Yes, that's not good.
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
Well, at least you admit it. What did you do?
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Who was he?
Who was this patient?
He was
I
a
don't
fisherman.
know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed a body.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No, we must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, unto the breach.
I mean, you gotta give him credit for his determination.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I have this effect on people.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
I will cover for you, Dr. Tippett, by keeping what happened to Mr. Connor to myself.
I don't know what to say, actually. I can't exactly force you to become my accomplice.
You didn't force me. This is my decision to make. I believe you're still of use to the hospital, considering the situation.
Then I can make you this promise. As soon as the epidemic is eradicated, I will resign.
Well, that's better than nothing, I suppose. He also paid me 100
Goodbye,
shillings.
Dr. Tippett.
Thanks, mate. Also, who is you? Dunno. Can't talk to you or anything, so dunno.
Another night with the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
Alright. Dorothy.
Don't waste your time.
Yes, Doctor?
I've brought the things.
Exactly how bad is the supply situation here at Pembroke?
It really depends. Dr. Swansea deftly works his society contacts for monies, but with the quarantine, well, we're in God's hands.
Please, could you point me in the direction of the morgue again?
It's the large boarded-up building behind the hospital. You can't miss it.
Clearly, I
The key I
fucking
gave
can.
you will open...
Why then do you always work the nights? Don't you ever sleep?
At the Pembroke, we're always hands on deck.
Lack of sleep and the medical profession always ends in disaster. I've witnessed many a colleague succumb to stimulants to fight exhaustion. Drugs were as deadly as bullets in the trenches.
London's trenches start here at Pembroke Hospital. We are on the front line, make no mistake.
Right, that didn't really
Your dedication
have much
to
do
the
with what I
Pembroke does
said.
you credit, Nurse Crane, but when do you sleep?
We staff get our sleep when we can, Doctor. Nursing is a vocation, not the labor of a journeyman.
That's all for...
So have I discovered that she is fatigued? No. Don't know. Bring the medicine to the doctor's and Dorothy Crane in the patient's room. Well, I just tried to bring it to her, but...
Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me?
Everyday folk don't know how bad it is.
News on the front stated that the Spanish flu was under control.
It seemed to be for a while.
I'll see you later.
Did I fuck it up by giving it to... No, I'm... Oh wait, I need to go up to there to do something with it. Okay.
Please, Jonathan, come in.
Why are you staring at a skull, you creepy bastard?
Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital,
Yes.
a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I'm
I cannot
unalive.
express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions.
I
a
am
vampire.
unimpressed by my lack of
One
pulse.
might say a gift from heaven.
I'm
There
a
is an
living
absurd
paradox.
poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me.
Medicate,
I've been an
medic
admirer
thyself.
of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please,
I'm an
call me
immortal
Edgar.
physician.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling.
Or a vampire
And
in this
until I
case.
come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
Oh, Lord, no.
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit.
And then do
Her
as she
ladyship
asks.
is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Impossibly delicate, who's also a fucking vampire who could put me through a fucking wall. Yeah, impossibly delicate. Hello, impossibly delicate woman who I have definitely
Flew
not
took my dear
encountered
wife,
before.
Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
She's a fucking vampire. Hello, Lady
Good evening,
Ashbury.
Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury.
And love interest.
I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
So it seems our Dr. Swansea does indeed have a fascination for creatures of our constitution.
Dr. Swansea is a remarkable man. Dedicated, one might say, obstinate. He spent years compiling our bestiary.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
What does that mean? They know you're a vampire?
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Pardon my boldness, your ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Can't promise that one.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
What does he want? Nudie pictures?
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Okay.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient, or their family.
Or a mortal. Just
If
in
we're
general.
dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes
Yay!
ablaze.
The third
Blood
boss
would run
I've
like a
soloed
river.
in this game thus far.
That's
has
what
been
I hope
defeated.
to avoid.
Nice.
Violence.
I've
has a
soloed
tendency
every
to
boss in
spiral
my
out of
personal
control.
campaign thus far.
Fair enough.
Please continue.
It hurts.
Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
Yes.
You are aware that I too know the thirst for the scarlet nectar.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion. It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin
MP
dropped
for Fly
here
Down
without
North.
her hearing about it.
God damn it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is
Harriet
in
Jones,
your
Prime
hands,
Minister.
Dr. Reed.
Yes, I know who you are.
I'm sure of your discretion. But I
Harriet
do
Jones,
fear
former
your
Prime
powers of
Minister.
persuasion
Yes, we
will
know
be
who
put
you
to the
are.
test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Harriet Jones, MP for Fly Down North.
What if I say I just want to drink your blood?
What if I say I want to fuck? I just want to
still
bone.
Capable of that? Oh God, are we still capable of that?
I don't see. Maybe. I mean, it would require a heartbeat.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Or some
I'm-
blood magic.
That I can do.
Oh, so you're a Tremere then?
I guess so.
If I say yes, will you act like I know what I'm talking about?
But yes, I think that will end the stream for tonight, as it's midnight and I need to feed my dogs. So thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you for Wateria for joining me. For
Always
some
a
of it.
pleasure.
Red has not appeared.
Which means...
Who knows what that means? It's red. But thank you everyone, and Tara.